You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your healthcare? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their healthcare. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your healthcare, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your healthcare while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
At St. Jude, our family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Sometimes writers feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
Oh, let me tell you something. I am so sick of Washington and all its works and all them politicians down there and them congressmen. I'll bet you won't find none of them congressmen signing down their electric blankets tonight. Because if they did, their secretaries would get up and go home.
We gotta do something. Absolutely. You know what we gotta do? Toga party.
Toga! 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 Toga!
I want you to kill every golfer on the course.
Check me if I'm wrong, Sandy, but if I kill all the golfers, they're going to lock me up and throw away the key.
Well, all right. It's Friday night, which means it's time for Robinson and Wright. We're live right now on KLR and radio.com. I'm one half of the crew, Mr. Big Robinson, joined by the other half of the crew, Mr. Dan Wright, who is, what are you, up to some sort of a record now? Everybody around you is being suspended and you're still here.
I'm still here. I'm back up to almost 1,400 followers.
I know, right? You know, it's
now I'm working on my suspension from Facebook right now. But
yeah, well, everybody gets suspended from Facebook. It's like a badge of honor. Just ask Austin Peterson.
But our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
But anyway, so yeah, I figured we might as well open with that because that was kind of the hot topic of the day when you put out the lead tweet for the show. Everybody was like, we want to hear your take on what's going on with Austin Peterson. So I've heard a couple of different things. One of the things that I've heard is that somehow he supposedly violated a rule of Facebook because he was somehow, I guess, because of the raffle of the firearm. But if I understood what you were saying earlier correctly, that's not exactly true, right?
That's what it started as. Yeah, that's what it started as, what everybody was talking about. But in looking at some of the investigation from both Guns.com and the New York Post, is he was actually suspended for a video post he did on Facebook Live talking about McCaskill's support for the quote-unquote assault weapons ban. And it really kind of bothers me because, and this is where like I said, I'm trying my best to get suspended from Facebook right now. Because I'm posting on there. I mean, it's McCaskill and Mark Zuckerberg hobnob together all the time. Now you've got Austin Peterson running against McCaskill on a very limited budget. He's not taking any big money. It's all private donations. I mean, he's excited because he made his goal of $200,000. McCaskill has a war chest. Austin Peterson's excited that he's got a $200,000 base to start with, and he's smart. He uses things like Facebook Live to get his message out there. And that's what he did during the presidential election. I mean, and he got to the point, tens and tens of thousands of people watching him on Facebook Live. And that's what he uses. And then all of a sudden, boom. Now, he didn't get a permanent ban for Facebook. He got a 30-day suspension. But things are really heating up right now, and then all of a sudden he's suspended, and it's pointing to the fact that he was suspended for this post, basically talking about McCaskill and her support of the assault weapons ban. That it really isn't even him rattling off the AR-15, which people were saying, well, you can't sell a firearm on Facebook. Well, he's not selling a firearm. He's giving it away. It's a promotion. And he's not the only politician doing things like that. And if they're really going to suspend a man that is running for U.S. Senate in Missouri over trying to do a promotion to get his name out there, you know, there's plenty of promotions that Democrats do on Facebook too. I mean, he's not selling a gun. He's giving away one of his personal firearms. That's what he's doing. So if even with that, it really isn't a violation of the rules, because the rules state you cannot sell firearms on Facebook. So I think they really need to come out with a clarification, because it's really pointing to Zuckerberg really just doing his friend a favor, is what it really is pointing to. If you read both the stories that came out from Guns.com and the story that came out from the New York Post.
I don't know. To me, all of it just seems crazy. And folks, I just realized, thanks to a computer glitch, right now we're actually broadcasting out of the Jesse's Coffee Shop file. So if you're looking for us and you can't find us, that's probably why. We'll get it fixed for the podcast version. I've already got it stopped so it doesn't go over to iTunes and iHeart and screw all of her feeds up. But that way she doesn't kill me later. But anyway, so we are still live. And welcome to live radio, or what I'd like to occasionally call train wreck radio. But so I guess the biggest thing for me is, you know, we're dealing with, at this point, an entire society that has decided that the only good ideas are pardon me, get paid to talk for a living, can't pull it off. The only good ideas are our ideas. And that's happening on both sides. I've seen people on the left and people on the right completely eviscerating each other because there are things that they may or may not disagree with. One of them happens to be this the resignation of the Health and Human Services Secretary today. I've actually seen people going to guns at each other all day on the right because people are mad because those type of things didn't happen under Obama. And why weren't the Republicans as hard on the Obama administration as they're being on themselves? And I've seen people that I consider friends going at each other for hours today over this. But the reason I'm bringing this up is it all ties back to the same stuff. We don't know how to disagree with each other anymore without it turning into a bloodbath. We just can't do it anymore. I think we're so fed up with always feeling like we're under attack that as soon as anybody says anything, we go to guns. And I think part of what's going on with Facebook is everybody's so hypersensitive. I'm sure probably what happened is 1 million people reported him for something that they thought was offensive, and now he's been banned. You said it was, what, a 30-day rip? Uh-oh, did I lose you?
30 days.
I was going to say, did I lose you?
Nope.
I was going to say my computer's acting.
30. Yeah, it's a 30-day suspension. But it's a 30-day suspension at a real important point.
Oh yeah,
in his campaign.
I'm sure that ties into it too. Trust me. However this got done, whoever it got done by, there was all kinds of things going on behind the scenes that were why it was happening, when it was happening, because they saw an opportunity.
Well, yeah, and they suspended him over a post that he paid for. They received money. Facebook received money. It was a promoted post. He paid for the post, and then they suspended him for it.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? We took your money, now F you.
Right, exactly.
I'm just kind of thinking,
we took your money, we put the post up, and then we're suspending you for it because we don't agree with it.
I'm just kind of thinking, shouldn't there be like some sort of review process before they take money for a post?
Like that would be like me owning a TV station, and you came to me and you gave me a couple $1,000s to run your ad, and after you gave me the money, I looked at it and said, "Oh, I don't agree with your ad. I'm not running it, but I'm also not giving you a refund."
Yeah, I'd be like, wait, so I just handed you $2,000 to run my ad, and you're dancing all the way to the bank while you turn around right as you go into the bank door and be like, by the way, we're not running this after all, but thanks for the money. Close the door.
Exactly.
That's exactly how...
You know, and this is... And this is maybe this is seeing the little bit of a problem with what I've seen as brilliant as far as campaigning goes, is that he's very good at making every dollar work, because he doesn't want to take corporate money. He doesn't want to take big money. He wants grassroots money, you know. I mean, he raises money. He does a good job of it, but it keeps him limited. And by using things like Facebook Live, and like you suggested, and to me before we went on, and another friend suggested to me, is that maybe he needs to try Periscope. You know,
I mean,
but
there's so many different ways to do this now.
Audience.
I mean, well, that's the thing. There are so many different ways to do this now. You can use free video software to broadcast straight to YouTube. I mean, honestly, it's been something that I've been toying with for a while, except I keep coming back to the disturbing realization that I have a face made for radio and nobody wants to see that stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just... I mean, you know that I'm fairly involved, not as much as some other people that I know, but I try to be. I'm fairly involved with paying real close attention to his campaign and helping promote him. I'm in a group with him. I've talked to him on the phone, and his heart is just so into this, and I'm watching him, and he's not letting it get him demoralized at all. He's actually doing a pretty good job of using it. But, you know, some of us that have been really kind of poured our hearts out in this, in him running for Senate in Missouri, to us, it's a setback. I think he's kind of turning that around with us, because he really is using it. I mean, you know, the word is getting out there. Like I said, by especially the New York Post. I mean, for the New York Post to do a full story on it is pretty cool. You know, it's just a little Senate race in Missouri, and the New York Post picked up on it, which was good. And he's using that. He's using it well. But it just shows, you know, is it only one side's going to be able to use social media to promote their campaigns? You know, I mean, I don't want to say, I mean, obviously Facebook is a private company. They can set the rules and they can kind of do what they want, but they are kind of, in a sense, public, where everybody on there, you know, I don't know. I almost don't even know how to explain what I've got going through my head with it. But is it fair that everybody, whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, a Christian, a Jew, an atheist, agnostic, whatever you are, you're on Facebook? But is it fair that a certain group can do kind of whatever they want to promote themselves, and another group has to walk on eggshells to be able to promote themselves, when it really is a public forum? You know, that's where, you know, where's the line? Where is the line that where you have to say, okay, this really isn't fair. You know, you're a big enough entity and people worldwide are on your platform. And where's the line? Where do you draw the line to what's fair for one side or the other?
I honestly don't know. I mean, is there even really such a thing as fair anymore? I guess that's part of the thing that I'm watching play out more and more. It's like each side has their own set of rules, and rules be damned until it's the other side. I mean, can we really even use words like fair anymore?
Yeah, I wonder about that. I wonder about that. I mean, you know, yeah, you see it on Twitter too. You see it on both platforms. It's one side seems to be able to say whatever they want. You know, all these verified accounts on Twitter, these liberal verified accounts like Keith Olbermann, they can say whatever they want. They can use whatever language they want. And you say one little word, and you're locked out of your account for a week.
Yeah.
Why is it that certain people can just say whatever they want, and certain people, they say one little word, one little misstep, you know, it doesn't even have to be some kind of major cuss word. All you have to do is kind of slightly offend one of these blue check marks that can say whatever they want, and you're suspended. You know, when it's a sticky situation because you don't want to tell a private company what they can and can't do, but what they're doing is really, I think it's unethical. I just think it's completely unethical.
Well, this is what I'm going to say, and I've said it before. As far as I'm concerned, we need conservative coders to step up and put together a version of Facebook, not just for conservatives, but a version of Facebook and a version of Twitter that actually do believe in free speech. You know, I mean, just, you know, let people be people. And I mean, let the market decide. I mean, if people are doing crazy, trolly, dangerous things, there are ways we can deal with it without making it to the point where everybody can get everybody else suspended just because they want to. There has to be a control in place, but we also don't need the ability to have mass reportings like we have going on right now, because there are gangs of people that have figured out how to get this stuff down to a science. You've been through it. Bunny's going through it again. Road Beer's going through it right now. And it's just crazy because they'll get their account back and Twitter will be like, oh, our mistake here. A week later, here's your account. Next day, it's gone again.
Right.
And the same with
you've
Facebook.
Seen it with me. I mean, since last November, I've been suspended 8, 9 times. And I've gotten accounts back. And then a week later, they're suspended again. And I get to the point where I'm not even going to appeal anymore. I just start fresh with a new account. But every time I get an account back, I get an apology from Twitter. We're sorry. We just, you know, we were going on, you know, we thought you were a spam account. Yeah, you thought I was a spam account because people were reporting me as spam. I'm a real person. You won't verify me, even though I've given you my name, my ID, my address, my website, what I do, the radio show I'm on, totally proven on myself. You say that you can't verify me as me, but all I have to do is say, and I'm a progressive, and I would be verified.
Well, I mean,
I would be verified.
I guess I understand that argument, but at the same time, I mean, guys like Chaco Jeebus and the Human Pest Dispenser have check marks.
They do, but they also have massive followings. I'm talking, I run into progressive verified accounts that have 900 followers. And you look at their bio, and they've got some YouTube channel as their website. So they're posting videos. I'm doing a show with you every Friday night. We went to CPAC. I mean, you know, I'm me. I verified that I'm me. I sent you all of my information. I gave you my website. I gave you my email address. I verified that I'm me. Why does that not verify me? I'm telling you I'm me. I'm showing you I'm me. I'm proving to you I'm me. Yet some dude with a YouTube freaking channel, he gets verified like that because he's a Hillary supporter. It's almost literally like all he has to say is I'm a Hillary. He doesn't even have a real name in his bio. He doesn't even have a real name. That's what the problem is. You know, and as soon as you're verified, and as soon as you have that check mark, it's incredibly difficult for somebody to get you suspended. Look at Keith Olbermann. Keith Olbermann has the foulest mouth of any mainstream media guy I've ever seen in my entire life. He can actually at the President of the United States and tell him to F off, and tell him he's an effing moron, and tell him he's an effing this and an effing that, and do whatever he wants, and he will not get suspended for it. If I say, hey, Keith, you're an effing moron, if he reported it, I would be suspended tomorrow.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, I don't
know that I wanted this to go totally in the direction of how unfair social media it is, but it is, and that's what, to me, it showed with the suspension of Austin Peterson from Facebook. It's a biased suspension.
It's an extension of the same thing that we're seeing going on in society, though. You know, the whole reason this country was founded in the first place was to do away with the caste and class system, and yet it's been creeping back in from the moment this country was created. We were never meant to have a lower class, a middle class, and an upper class. Now we have a lower middle, lower upper, lower middle upper, and up, and then we have lower upper, lower middle, and upper. Or up, yeah, I think there's so many different ones, I'm getting them mixed up. But the whole point of it is that's not ever anything this country was intended to be about. And now we have an entire group of people on Twitter that are basically aristocracy because they have blue check marks. Now, there are people that don't abuse the blue check marks. I mean, there are good blue check marks out there, just like there are bad blue check marks out there. Dana Loesch is an example of a pretty good blue check mark. She doesn't shoot off her mouth. She doesn't say crazy stuff. She doesn't attack people unless they attack her first. And then you have Oberbite, who basically attacks anything to do with Trump every time, all day, every day. I mean, Trump is like his Pavlovian bell, dude. He's just like, oh, somebody said Trump, gotta go get him. It's just crazy.
No, you're right. I mean, you and I both have friends that are verified. I mean, and there are on both sides. There's people that are verified that are good people. I won't, I'm not going to say that everybody with a blue check is evil, and there are check marks on both sides that know that they have this upper hand. Now, it does lean more towards the left. I have seen many conservative check marks get suspended. I haven't seen so many liberal check marks get suspended. And I've seen a couple, and they got suspended for real bad stuff. I mean, it takes real bad stuff. But it shows, I don't know, that when Twitter started verifying, the system sounded like it should be great. Like I said, you literally prove you're you, and you're a public figure. Okay? I'm me. Here's all my information. Here's a copy of my driver's license. Here is my website, and here is the show I do. By saying I do a show, by us doing this show, even if 2 people listen to it, it still makes us a public figure. So we meet the criteria, but we get denied.
And I can prove that more than 2 people listen.
Why is that?
maybe that's what we need to do.
Exactly.
Maybe
I know.
Maybe we need to send them
But
the
you
numbers,
know what
too.
I'm saying.
Well, no, I'm just saying, maybe we need to send them the numbers, too, because they're just like, oh, these guys are just a couple of podcast jabronis. I'm like, no, actually, you should look at these numbers. They're not bad.
I mean, and it's that way with it's that way with quite a few of the shows on camera and radio. I mean, we're getting some pretty good listens, and so is your show with Jen, and so is your solo show. Al's show is doing great. I mean, everybody's doing pretty darn good. And none of us are verified.
I was just thinking, once we got to the point where we had the shows on iHeart, I thought it would be a lot easier to get verified. I mean, because iHeart's like a legitimate thing, dude. Because, I mean, they want like 3 or 4 different websites to prove that you are who you say you are and that you are a public figure. So I submitted I submitted more than 3 because I put another one in the comment section. I gave them the iHeart links. I gave them the links to all of the show pages that I do. I submitted articles that I've written when I was writing for AAN. I mean, I don't know what else to tell them because I told them up front, this is a stage name, but I can provide you proof that I professionally use that name. Here's my press ID that I use under this name. Here's the 2 sets of CPAC credentials I've gotten under this name. Here's the set of SRLC credentials I've gotten under this name. What else do you want? And all I get back is, well, at this time, we don't feel that you're an account that we feel needs to be verified at this time. Of accounts that nobody follows.
And, the weird, off-the-wall, like $1,200 or 1,200 follower rapper that I got into it with like 6 months ago. He's verified. He's got 1,200 followers. He's got some weird, off-the-wall stage name. And not even a real Abby on his bio, but he's verified. With his YouTube channel, with his music on it. He doesn't even have music that's published anywhere but YouTube. But he's verified. How does that work?
I'm starting to think some people have figured out how to slip somebody some money to get verified. Because there's some of these accounts that make no sense to the fact that they're verified. But that's
I mean, I think the verification thing. I think it was at first I thought it was a good idea. I think it's just kind of stupid. I mean, Facebook doesn't do it.
Actually, they do.
You're supposed to. Do they really though?
Yeah,
they do professional accounts.
It's even harder to get verified through Facebook, but yeah, they actually do. I mean, I'm not saying
I think it's all just stupid.
Well, I mean, the whole thing about it is we're back to the public figure thing again. In Facebook land, you actually have to be a legitimate public figure. You can't just ship them a YouTube link and say, I'm a rapper. Oh, look, you're verified. Shazam, here you go. They actually make you jump through hoops to make that happen. Because we were going to try to work on getting the station's Facebook account verified because we thought it would be easier over there for the station since it's a legitimate business entity with legal filings and corporate papers and everything else. But the follower count's not high enough yet. So fun times. But anyway,
so over Facebook, you've got to be popular.
Yeah, you got to be popular to get verified. Basically, you can't just. I don't know. I guess with Twitter, it's not who you know, it's who you... Woohoo! Oh, sorry. Never mind. Anyway, we kind of got really far afield, so we should probably rein it back in a bit. Because there's lots of other things to talk about besides our bitterness towards besides the bitterness towards we have towards the check mark mafia. Oh boy,
yeah,
oh boy, oh boy.
There are quite a few more things to talk about. Well, the Senate and House are voting to add another $1.5 trillion to the deficit.
Yeah. So
that sounds pretty conservative.
So tell me again why we voted for these Republicans that aren't acting like Republicans. I'm so confused.
I don't know. I don't.
It's like, spending was bad when it was the Democrats.
I thought the whole thing was repeal Obamacare, lower taxes, and stop all the spending.
Yeah.
Let's just add a little bit more. Let's haggle over the taxes, and we still have Obamacare.
Yeah, well,
so that's where we are right now.
There's a reason why I have partnered with Liberty Health Share on America Off the Rails, because there are ways to get around the Obamacare nightmare, and I'm finding more and more of them as we go, because we're going to be stuck with this crap for a really, really long time, whether we want to be or not. But, speaking of sponsorships and partners and things like that, we're way past the bottom of the hour, so we should probably take a break. We'll be right back here in about 4 minutes. Stay tuned.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces. We'll take...
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your healthcare? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their healthcare. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your healthcare, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your healthcare while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Helps if I press the right buttons, folks. Sorry, for some reason the gremlins are rearing their ugly head tonight, and I keep having bandwidth issues, so I'm watching that and closing things down and reopening them, and every time I turn around, we're having another problem, and I'm just like, I haven't really had issues like this since I changed my internet speed, and today has just been terrible. I think it's because we've had so much rain lately, because my internet hates rain. Wow, I cannot talk tonight. All right, so lots of things to talk about. Now, I want to change topics a little bit because we've spent most of the show talking about Blue Check Mafia and a little bit about Austin Peterson. I want to get your take on this whole Puerto Rico thing, though, because Trump is being roasted over this Puerto Rico thing, and I want to get somebody else's opinion on it because I've talked about it most of the week.
I've followed it a little bit. I mean... It's a terrible disaster, and I mean, it's as much of a disaster as maybe a little bit more, but as much of a disaster as Houston or Florida, and I find it hard to believe that they're not getting helped at all. I mean, it's like, why, I don't hear people screaming for more help for Houston or screaming for more help for Florida, but screaming for more help for Puerto Rico. And I don't know. I mean, I don't understand. I think I look at it as, I get torn because I'm not a Trump fan, but he gets torn over everything, and I'm getting sick of it. Maybe this is something he should get torn over. Maybe. But I'm so tired of everything that happens, no matter what happens, no matter what he says, no matter what he does, he gets ripped for it. I'm getting a little sick of it. And I'm still not a huge Trump fan. And it would take a lot to make me a huge Trump fan, like him acting like a Republican, for starters. But I am so sick and tired of, no matter what it is, no matter whether it's he'll come out and make a statement that I sit there and I'll say, that was fantastic. And all of a sudden he's getting ripped for it. And I'm like, why is he getting ripped for it? There's a certain segment out there, and it's both Democrats and so-called Republicans or conservatives that it doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter what he does. They've made up their minds that he is the devil and nothing he does is right. Nothing he does is ever going to be good. They will find a way to rip everything he does and everything he says. And I'm getting sick of it. Now, Puerto Rico is essentially the United States. They should be getting aid. A lot of people say, well, they don't really pay near their fair share into the economy or anything. I don't care. If we want to call them part of the United States, they're part of the United States, no matter how you look at it. But I am just at this point so sick and tired of everything Trump does is wrong that it's almost like the old, I have no care anymore because nothing he does is right. Kind of follow what I'm saying? I'm kind of tired of it. I mean, we're not even a year into the administration, and I'm already sick of it. I'm critical when I need to be critical, and I'm sick of everything being bad. I'm just sick of it. I don't even know what to think about it anymore. No matter what he says, no matter what he does. He gave the speech at the UN. I thought it was fantastic. Oh, he just wants to start war. And now we've got, people on the left saying that they would prefer, Kim Jong-un to be our ruler, our leader instead of Trump. Seriously? I mean, it's just to the point where I'm almost done. I'm really almost done. I'm done because I'm almost being forced to defend a guy that I really didn't want to be our president to begin with.
Well, to me, I don't even really feel like I'm being forced to defend him anymore, only because I'm watching him be attacked over everything that he does. Because while the media is roasting him over Puerto Rico, they seem to be forgetting some very key points. We have earthquake relief going on in Mexico because we have people down there helping. We still have people helping in Houston. We still have people helping in Florida. We have the military and first responders fighting wildfires all throughout the country. And Puerto Rico is a place surrounded by water. So we can't just have people drive down and start helping them. We had to fly people in. We had to put people in by boats. There were problems because of a law that existed. There were people that there were supplies that couldn't get there until the president basically overrode that particular law for a short-term period of time. But it wasn't ultimately his decision. The governor of Puerto Rico had to ask for that to happen. At least that's my understanding, and I could be completely wrong about that. But from talking to people that I trust that know this stuff better than I do, the person in charge in Puerto Rico actually had to ask for that particular act to be suspended before the president could do anything about it. Now, again, I could be wrong about that, but that's neither here nor there at this point, because I've been watching people comparing this Puerto Rico thing to this is Trump's Katrina. This is a mess. This is terrible, and it is. It's a mess. It's terrible. But when you're fighting issues as far as natural disasters and catastrophes on multiple fronts, how far can you stretch people before there's one or the other that starts suffering? So yeah, it took us a while to get things going in Puerto Rico, but they've had 10,000 people on the ground helping almost since it started. So don't tell me that the president hasn't been doing anything or hasn't been doing enough because he was tweeting about football instead of talking about Puerto Rico. The president can do more than one thing at a time. You, me, and every other person on the planet does more than one thing at a time. That's why we have laws that tell us that we can't text and drive, because people don't know how to not do more than one thing at a time. And you're telling me the president should only be focusing on one thing at a time. When you focus on one thing at a time, then you can tell me what the president needs to be doing. Until then, shut the hell up.
Amen. You said it much better than I did. And the whole time that they're slamming him for not doing enough, the people at FEMA are saying they're spread so thin they can't do anything because of Houston, Florida, the wildfires. Everything else, FEMA is spread to the point where they have no resources left. They literally have no resources left. So what is FEMA supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? You know, I mean, it's not even a monetary thing. It's just a straight up resources thing. And you don't just create resources and say, here you go, here's the resources. You just don't do that. I mean, it's been a rough summer. It's been a rough hurricane season. It's been a rough everything. And what's FEMA supposed to do? Are they just supposed to crap out a bunch of resources?
Something like that. You know, they're supposed to wave their magic wand and fix everything. This is how idiotic all of this has gotten, though. I think that Donald Trump could single-handedly invent the transporter and teleport everything Puerto Rico needed to make everything all better, and they would still say that he wasn't doing enough. Because that's where we are.
Yeah, right, absolutely. It's nothing he does is going to be good enough. Nothing. To certain people. It's just nothing is going to be good enough on anything he does. You know, no matter what the subject matter is, no matter what the problem is, it's just nothing is going to be good enough. There's people out there that just will not give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I will even say, through 8 years of Obama, I will say there may have been one or two times where I said, okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty cool. There's people out there that will never say that about Trump. Ever.
Yeah, no,
it's not good enough.
They just won't. But, you know, just to point out how crazy all of this has gotten. Does anybody remember when Michelle Obama was reading Dr. Seuss to children and actually dressed up as a Dr. Seuss character? Now that Melania Trump has donated a bunch of Dr. Seuss books to a library, Dr. Seuss is racist.
Well, yeah, you know.
That's just how stupid all of this has gotten. Everything is racist. Everything is now white supremacist. They've even done away with the stupidest phrase ever, white privilege, and now if you're white, you're a white supremacist. If you look white, even if you have ancestry of different origin, you are a white supremacist. If your great-grandmother on your father's side was a quarter white, you're a white supremacist. So does that make Barack Obama a white supremacist? Because he's half white, remember?
Yes, it does. And it's not even if you're white. It's if you're white and I almost don't like the word anymore. But if you're white and conservative, you're a white supremacist. But what people don't realize is that all of these crazy, progressive programs that are literally designed to keep people poor, I think that's more racist and supremacist than anything else. But, you know, if you say, if you're white and you say that you have the opportunities to do things for yourself and make things great for yourself, you're a white supremacist? Well, I guess I am.
Well, all I really have to say about that is if no matter what I do, people are going to consider me a white supremacist, then I have a problem with that of a different type. Because, and I've said this before, if you look at me because of the color of my skin and feel that I am superior to you somehow, which is what you're telling me when you say that I'm a white supremacist, that is a problem between your own ears and in your own heart, and I'm not going to deal with it because I am not a white supremacist. I am the furthest thing from a white supremacist. I don't think that any race is superior to any other race, for that matter. So, if anything, as far as I'm concerned, no one person is superior to anybody else, because we're all people. We all put our pants on the same way, usually one leg at a time, except for my wife, who I'm pretty sure is from another planet, because she puts her pants on with both legs at once, and I'm not even sure how the hell she does that. I literally watched her once, and I'm like, you know what? You are the only person I think I've ever met who I can honestly say I can't use the argument of, you're just like me, you put your pants on one leg at a time, because you don't. And I don't even know how you do that.
How do you put your pants on both legs at the same time?
I don't. I watched her do it, and I still don't understand it. I'm not even going to lie. But it's just weirdest thing I've ever seen. I'm telling you, we joke around all the time that she's from another planet.
I say Mrs. Robinson for President of the United States in 2020.
I know, right? Can't be any worse than what we've got now. And at least maybe she could. At least maybe then she could break that glass ceiling that almost broke Hillary's neck. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
That's talent.
I know.
That's pure talent. I mean, right now I've got a bum knee. I can put my pants on first leg and struggle second leg maybe, because I can't bend my knees. So being able to put your pants on both legs at the same time, that's talent.
Yeah, I know. It weirded me out the first time. I was like, I've never in my life seen anybody do that. How the hell did you just do that? That's been a saying since people started wearing pants. We're all the same. We all put our pants on one leg at a time, except for my wife. So my wife is the exception that proves the rule. All right, so believe it or not, we are just about out of time. We've got about 3 minutes left. Anything else you want to touch on the way out?
Yes, I want to do something so that I'm not a liar. I will say right now, I said on Twitter yesterday to a troll that was going at me over the NFL, I will say right now, the NFL sucks, and I will never mention the NFL on our show again, and I will never mention the NFL on Twitter or Facebook unless they get their crap together. The end. The last mention of the NFL from me on our show.
Oh, no, see, I still may mention them, but I have a new name for them now, and I stole this from Todd Tucker the other day when I was in studio at KOKC. I now call them the National Felons League, because if not for football, they'd all be either washing cars, flipping burgers, or in prison.
Yes, you're correct. And I'm done. I'm really done. I have a guy on Twitter telling me that I could never have been a real NFL fan if I'm just done with them now. All right, whatever. Think what you think. I was a season ticket holder in Baltimore. I didn't pay that much money for freaking tickets because I wasn't a fan. And I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I used football. I use football, drag racing, stock car racing, everything else. That's my getaway from this stuff. If I'm going to tune in on Sunday and literally watch a bunch of guys stand on their soapbox and talk about their politics, I'm done. I don't want it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm done with the NFL, and I will. You can mention them all you want. I no longer will mention the NFL. I will not bring up the topic of the NFL on our show. and I will not mention the NFL on social media after tonight. I made that promise yesterday. So here's my last mention of the NFL.
Speaking of shows, I feel like a bad show partner because you were all over social media last weekend when I was running around like crazy talking about the fact that we've been doing the show for a year and what a great co-host I am, and I'm like, didn't see it till like 4 days later, and I'm like, crap. So, happy show anniversary. A week late.
Yeah, well, I mean, it came up. I had a post, and it was like for our, we had been doing the show together for a while before we came up with a real name. We were just I was just basically the Friday night America Off the Rails co-host. And then we decided to make it a show, and it was on Facebook, and it was the post of our first real show, and it came up as, 1 year ago, happy anniversary, and I was like, oh, cool. We've actually been doing this for a year. We've been doing it for more than a year, but... Hey.
Yeah, well, we've been doing it under this name for a year, and oddly enough, we still get along. Actually, I think we've started getting along better since we finally got to meet in person, thanks to CPAC, which is interesting enough because I've seen people that have done shows and they can't stand each other after about 6 months.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love it. I mean, I love doing it with you, and I love listening to you. I mean, I listen to pretty much every show on the platform, maybe not necessarily live, but I try to go back and listen to everything through archive. And to me, it's a chance to vent without my thumbs. I mean, I do my venting on social media, but this is a chance to actually use my voice and vent, and I love it. I have a blast with it. I have a blast with you, and it's been kind of a good thing. I mean, most shows we do together, I go on a rant, and then you go on a rant, and then we change subjects, and I go on a rant, and you go on a rant, and it gives us a chance to just not just talk about things, but rant what we really feel, and I've really had a good time.
I have to admit, this is kind of my therapy, and I tell everybody that, and everybody looks at me like I was crazy. Before I started doing this to the point where I was doing it 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week, I was on the verge of being diagnosed with high blood pressure. Now that I actually have an outlet for all of the things that annoy the crap out of me, I actually don't have high blood pressure issues anymore because I'm not holding it all in and internalizing it anymore because I actually have an outlet for it. Because, before I started doing this as a live broadcast, I was doing it through Facebook posts and writing and everything else, which is great because some people absorb things better when they read them better than when they hear them. But it doesn't give me the same release to do this if I write something, because most of the time if I'm writing something, I'm actually still like the tension or whatever is causing me to write those things is still building while I'm typing it. But to do that or maybe put it out on social media first and then talk about it, for some reason the actual talking about it, the vocalizing of it makes a lot of the tension go away. And I was explaining this in the green room group the other day, and my wife looks at me like I'm crazy when I tell people this too, but it's honestly like part of me doesn't come alive until I'm behind a microphone. And I don't understand that because I've never been that way before. I mean, I've done public speaking. I spent 2 years helping out with a small church. So I preached on Sundays. I led the worship services for the music. I helped with the kids' church. I did all of that stuff. And even back then, if I was behind the microphone, that was when I felt the most alive. And this was a way for me to get back to it because there were too many things that happened in my life when I was trying to do the preacher thing that I just didn't really feel like I was worthy of doing that anymore. So this is a way for me to do a very similar thing and reach people and try to make a difference and still use some of those same talents. And honestly, at this point, and it's the same thing I was telling Todd Tucker the other day, I think I found my legitimate calling. I mean, I'm almost 45 years old. It seems like it's taken me a very long time to find it. It's taken me multiple career paths, multiple changes, multiple things that have happened in my life. But I honestly think, I feel like this is what I was put here to do. Even if it's something that never makes me money and I never get to do it full time as my actual job, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. Everything else I do because I have to. This I do because I want to.
Yeah, and I do too, and I think you have a fantastic radio voice. I have my voice. People seem to like it for some reason. I don't know why, but...
Now you know how I feel when everyone compliments me on my radio voice, because I hear it and I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, see, I think you have a great radio voice.
And everyone says that, and then I hear it, and I'm like, no.
I can really thank, for me, kind of coming out of my shell and doing this, I can really thank a mutual friend of ours, Hammy, because he invited me on his show one night, and I was like, I don't know. He was like, come on, just do it. It's fun. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. Whatever, what are we going to talk about? And he gave me some subjects, and I was like, okay, cool. And he does kind of a panel show. And I was like, great. All right, I've never done this before, but I'll call in. So I call in. He brings everybody in. We talk about it. He does his opener. And what does he do right off the bat? He goes to me. And I just rambled. I loved it. I was like, okay, cool. That went off well.
Yeah, no, I remember when you were first getting involved with it, because you were doing shows with Hammy, and then you did one, you filled in for JD one night, and then you started getting involved with the former co-host for you, who shall remain nameless in my book forever.
Yes, thank you.
And it was funny, because I remember when you first started doing it, it was like you just weren't quite sure, because you'd like have these moments where you would put together like 3, 4, 5 sentences, and then you'd feel like you were talking too much, and then you just suddenly just stop, and everybody's like, I don't think he was done. No, I guess he was. And now you finally found your footing, so to speak, which was good, because I knew you would eventually, and that was one of the reasons why, when I'd seen how much you enjoyed doing it, but how much you were still kind of unsure how to do it, that was one reason why, you know what, I heard you on JD and Stacy's show when you filled in for them. That was really one of the first times I'd listened to you. And then I started listening to you on the other guy's show, and I was like, you know what, because you were kind of just the foil on that other show, except for a couple times. I know there were a couple times he kind of turned you loose, and it was like he just wasn't really doing much of anything. But most of the time, you were just kind of there, and you got to say a few words here and there. And I'm like, you know what? This guy could do a lot more. And that's when I decided to say, hey, do you want to come over here and do this? And then the rest is history. But anyway, enough of us talking about how all this stuff got started, because we are officially long, and I know you've got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, and so do I. So why don't you remind folks where it is that they can reach out to you when you're not on the radio venting with me?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at MadFeist, F-I-E-S-T, and you can find me on Facebook. It's Daniel Wright. Which I did put public, so it is now a public account, as long as it lasts. I've been slamming Zuckerberg on there, so, I may see a 30-day suspension here or there.
Yeah, well, wear your Facebook suspensions like badges of honor. All right, I, of course, am Rick Robinson. I do this one every Friday night. We do Jen and Rick on Thursday nights. Now, this one's 11 Eastern. Jen and Rick is 10 Eastern. And, of course, America Off the Rails is Monday through Thursday at 11 Eastern. And Occasionally, you can actually hear me over on KOKC 1520 as a fill-in. That is, of course, assuming I ever get a call. But hey, I still got offered the job, so I'm going to take it. All right, and on that note, folks, we are officially out. If you want to follow along, you can on Twitter at Radio Host Rick. You can also shoot me an email at rick@klrmradio.com or follow me on Facebook over at Rick Robinson or the America Off the Rails Facebook page. And on that note, we are officially out for the night. We will see you guys next week. Lots more going on in the news, I'm sure. Lots more craziness, and we will tell you how we feel about it, because that's what you like to tune in for. We'll see you next week. Take care. God bless.